Hey, it's Kim Komando Today, your daily podcast to keep you up to date with all things digital and beyond. And I'd love to have you be a part of our podcast. You can make an appointment to speak with me. Just head over to komando.com, and on the top right, there's a button that says Email Kim. Fill that out, and that's it. All right, I'm talking about life's milestones, right? Graduating from high school, going to college, getting a job, getting your driver's license, yes. And then also your first car. What was your first car? Okay, mine was, it was a piece of junk. It was a Pontiac Sunbird. Oh, it was a bad one. But get this, for most of today's young adults, these milestones don't matter anymore. Deloitte asked 18 to 34-year-olds this question: how willing are you to ditch your car for a fully available rideshare service? So in other words, instead of owning a car, you're just going to use an Uber or Lyft all the time. Well, here in the United States, over 50% said, sign me up. I don't need to own a car at all. I'm steering clear of those bad vibes. Oh, that was a bad one. I added the steering clear. I'm sorry. Forgive me. I promise you it's going to get better, because after all, you just tapped into the nation's largest show about all things digital. And I'm Kim Komando, your beloved digital goddess, here to make sure that you are always tech ahead and never left tech behind in the digital dust. Because after all, you can find my award-winning show on over 420 top radio stations across the United States. I'm streaming in your favorite radio app. And you can also get the Kim Komando Show as a podcast. Wherever you get your podcast, just search for Komando with a K. And a big hello and salute goes out to all of our listeners on the American Forces Network Radio, reaching over 375,000 U.S. service members in 175 countries. Isn't that amazing? And 200 ships at sea get the Kim Komando Show. And if you want to join in the fun, well, just give me a call at 1-888-825-5254. Or you can always make an appointment to speak with me here on the show. Just head over to komando.com and then hit that link that says Ask Kim at the top of the page. And I'd like to thank Incogni for helping to make this show possible. You know, every time you look anything up online, even your embarrassing and private searches, maybe you fill out a form, you do a little online shopping, data brokers are watching, and they collect and sell your information to anyone willing to pay. I'm talking about your name, your address, your phone number, your social security number, even your social media activity. It's all out there. Even without your knowledge or consent, somebody's selling it and somebody's buying it. And these data brokers know everything. But here's the deal. You can get yourself off the data broker sites and also those annoying free people search sites. Just head over to privacykim.com, and that's when you get my deal with Incogni, over 60% off. That's privacykim.com. All right, every single day I dive into at least 35, 40 different sources to make sure that we're both up to date on what's going on in the techverse. And here are the top 5 things you need to know about right now. And we're going to start with the victims of the California wildfires. I mean, it's not just limited to the people who are actually living there. I just find this so hard to believe that celebrities, I mean, we're talking about people that are making like $60,000, $70,000, $90,000 an episode or more, is that they're using TikTok and GoFundMe to exploit their kind fans into giving them money. I mean, listen to this. Reality star Spencer Pratt and his wife, Heidi Montag, they lost their home in the Pacific Palisades fire. I know, it's so sad. But up until this point, the couple was all on social media saying, oh, look at us in our private jets, and we're traveling, and we have a $1 million wardrobe. Don't you want to be us? Their house was also on the TV show called The Hills. They were also on that show too. But after the fire, they went on social media and they went, oh, we're so sad. We need money. Using TikTok, they raised about $25,000 so far. And also in a GoFundMe that they said their friends put up. It's like $120,000. Pratt says that all this is life-changing amounts of money. You know, don't fall for it. Don't be a victim. If you want to contribute, you know, go over to the Red Cross. That's the only place. Moving on to number 2, one of science fiction's biggest undelivered promises was a robot in every home. I mean, not some flimsy roll around. I'm talking about a real walking upright with 2 arms, 2 legs, 2 hands, 2 feet. And guess what? The videos are here. Elon Musk, the Tesla Optimus robots, they say that they're for household use, and they are coming to fruition. They're 5'8", they weigh about 125 pounds. They look just like the ones from that movie, I, Robot. And the cost, $30,000. Wow. But would you trust one in your home? Oof. I don't know. You know, think about this. Data collection everywhere. Moving on to number 3. Amazon is losing tens of billions of dollars on its product, the Amazon Echo, and everything else equipped with the Alexa smart assistant. Now, if you have purchased any Alexa-enabled device, raising my hand, Amazon says that's because of you that we're losing money. You see, Amazon's Echo listens to your conversations, of course, answers your questions, plays your music, takes your orders. Now, when Amazon launched the Echo and the Alexa device at below cost, say 10 years ago, it counted on all of us to just sit there and say, oh, isn't this so wonderful? Now we can just tell Alexa to buy everything for us. Yes, and all that money would make up for these losses. It's called downstream impact. The trouble is, Amazon miscalculated big. No one downstreamed. No one bought anything. So it's just a business disaster. So Amazon's solution is to make you pay for Alexa. Yes, anywhere between $5 and $10 a month. It's coming soon, right now. Moving on to number 4, the good news is that we have grown more savvy about opening email from unknown senders and clicking on these dangerous links that can cripple our computers and steal from us. Now, the bad news is the bad guys know this too, so they found new ways to steal from all of us. Now, cyber criminals, of course, are still sending phishing emails to steal your money and your identity, but now they've added these frantic, urgent-sounding text messages designed to scare you into responding. As a matter of fact, the FTC says there are 2 words that if you get these in a text, guaranteed you are going to get scammed. What are the 2 words? Anyone? Yes, act fast. Act fast. Wow. So here's the deal. If you get a text message that says, you need to do this now, just go ahead and delete it and block the number. Moving on to this, number 5, finally, social media is full of these viral travel hacks, but the one getting the most traction lately is the most controversial. And is it truly ethical? You see, when you reserve a budget airline seat online, you're automatically assigned, believe this or not, to the middle seat. Yes, the least desirable seat on any aircraft. The airline hopes that you're going to pay them more money for an aisle or window seat. Now, here's the hack. What you do is you open another browser window and reserve all the middle seats on the plane. Okay. Of course, do not complete the purchase. You're just going to hold the seats. Then back on your main browser, you find that the airline has assigned you to an aisle or window seat with no additional fees. Why? Because all the middle seats are on hold. So you just buy the seats you want, then immediately go back and release all the middle seats. Is this legal? Yes. And you can bet that the airlines are modifying their reservation software as I speak. I'm always looking for ways to keep you safe on your devices. Did you know that there's malware out there that records every single thing that you type? It's called a keylogger, and it's one of the sneakiest ways that hackers steal passwords, credit card numbers, and private info. Scary, right? That's where Endpoint Lock comes in. Think of it like a secret vault for your keyboard. It encrypts or scrambles every keystroke that you type. Even if a hacker is trying to spy on you, all they'll see is uncrackable gibberish. It works quietly in the background on your devices, protecting you every time you log into your bank, shop online, or send a private email. Keyloggers are more common than you might think, but with Endpoint Lock, they don't stand a chance. Go to endpointlock.com/Kim. They're offering an exclusive deal just for my listeners. Get 10% off a monthly or yearly subscription using code KIM10. That's endpointlock.com/Kim using code KIM10 for 10% off a monthly or a yearly plan. Endpointlock.com/Kim. Endpointlock.com/Kim. Alrighty then, let's get started with all of your phone calls, which, by the way, just a reminder that if you're just too shy to give me a call, I still want to answer all your questions. And the best place for you to drop me your questions is not all over social media. Stop that. Is you want to go to komando.com, Komando, komando.com, and then there's a link at the top that says Ask Kim. Alrighty, how about we start with Kurt in beautiful Savannah, Georgia. Hi there, Kurt.
Well, I have a friend who is well known in the aviation community who has gone missing this past January 23rd. Missing person reports and so forth have been filed. A lot of people are wondering what happened to her and looking for her. And it's always a possibility that she disappeared, was abducted, or even trafficking. And although she was a little older than a normal trafficking victim, it's a possibility from the statistics I've seen. My question to you was, first of all, is there a way that we can set up an automatic search of the Internet looking for her name after a certain date? And then second of all, if there was a way, God forbid, that she was abducted by sex traffickers or other types of traffickers and her photograph appeared online, Is there a facial recognition app or technology of some sort I could use to help find her?
Boy, this is a tough situation, huh?
Yes, it is. There are literally people all over the country looking for her.
What's her name?
Her name is Julie Vesegalt, and she was last seen in Elk Grove, California. She disappeared on just after noon on January 23rd of this year.
Well, let's start at the beginning. Okay. Number one, you asked about automatic alerts. You can set up alerts if you go to google.com/alerts, and that's where you can set up alerts for her name.
All right.
And you said she was in the aviation community, so maybe if she had a tail number, anything like that, you might want to start thinking about other things that you could set up a Google alert for. And basically, you're going to get an email whenever any new information that relates to whatever you set the alert for appears on the internet. There are also internet monitoring services like Social Mention and TalkWalker, and you can pay for these services to say, if anything appears in social media, that you'll be notified through a web alert as well. As far as images, there's PIM eyes, there's tin eyes. That's where you can upload a picture, and then you can see other pictures that may appear on the internet. So if you have a photo of her face, you can see if her face appears someplace else. Now, a lot of these tools, the FBI has more extensive tools than what are available to the general public, and I assume that you are in touch with somebody at the FBI as well.
Not with the FBI, but Elk Grove Police Department, as well as, we tried to contact the Sheriff's Department. That's another story, but yeah, certainly the police are involved.
Okay, good. One thing that's interesting to me is that on social media, specifically on Facebook, is that there are Facebook groups who are trying to solve crimes, and they're also trying to find missing persons. There's a case that came across my desk this morning about a skull that was found by a little girl in 1983. And this particular Facebook group just found out, who was the woman behind the skull, and then notified the daughter what they found. And they did a whole DNA analysis, and it's true, it is her mother and things like that. Yeah. So there are Facebook groups that actually get together and they try to find missing persons. And of course, speaking of, you have the missing persons networks, National Missing and Unidentified Persons System, the DOE network. And then also on Reddit, there's a subreddit called Missing Persons. And that's where you can share information and request help from the Reddit community. And so, of course, you have, the tech tools, but then you also have these communities of folks that they really want to help and they really want to figure things out. And so you can look, as I mentioned, on Facebook and inside this Reddit community. You may even want to hire a private investigator.
Yeah, I've actually, I have hired a private investigator. He was hamstrung by the same lack of information as the police have been. But and I am aware of at least some of the Facebook groups that you've mentioned. State of California and that whole general area has several that I'm already members of. But thank you for the information. I know there's more out there.
Yeah, and try the Reddit group. Try that. Okay. Let's, maybe there's something else. And one more time, why don't we give everybody her name and where she was last seen? Yeah,
her name is Julie Vesegalt. She was last seen on January 23rd, 2024 in Elk Grove, California. She left her apartment right around 12:30, I think it was, and her car was seen once on an automated license plate reader and has not been seen since.
And then how old is she?
She's 47 years old.
And give me a description.
She is, I think, is about 5'4", 140 pounds, hazel eyes, brown hair. She tends to wear aviation-themed T-shirts and ball caps. And when she left her apartment, she was wearing jeans, a gray T-shirt with Sacramento Executive on the shirt, and a aviation-themed baseball cap. She also wears thick glasses, and she's can't see well without the glasses.
And so are you just a friend? Are you related to her?
I am not related to her. I am a close friend.
And when's the last time you heard from her?
I last heard from her on January 21st, less than 48 hours before she disappeared.
Well, Kurt, if anybody knows anything about Julie, you can drop me a note through the website. Head over to komando.com. There's a link there that says Ask Kim, and then I'll go ahead and forward anything that you guys and gals can dig up over to Kurt. And Kurt, thanks for your call. And do keep us posted, okay? Wow, what an interesting call. Wasn't that great? It was. Hey, listen, you don't want to miss any special moments in yours and your loved ones' lives. So if you're struggling to hear what's going on around you, you need to check out hear.com/Kim. Let me tell you, they offer high-tech hearing aids like the Horizon IXs that deliver crystal clear sound and can be controlled right from your smartphone. That's so sweet. Plus, with their nationwide network and online consultations, help is really close by. Visit hear.com/Kim to see if you qualify for a no-risk 45-day trial. Hear.com/Kim. All right, so do you want to know what's really making all these various AI chatbots really great? Yeah, you are. I am. I'm talking about our Gmail, Instagram, Facebook messages, everything else that we have out there, unless you opt out. You see, Google is sifting through all of our emails to train its AI. And Meta, they're using Instagram posts from public accounts to train their AI without anybody really knowing. So big tech is absorbing, they're just sucking in all of our chats, our pictures, our docs to make AI that can write, create photos, and mimic human behavior. So you can get out of it. Meta has a brand spanking new opt-out form. It's in their help center under generative AI data subject rights. It's more of a request and then of a firm opt-out. And in Gmail, you can also go into your settings and turn off personalization. Okay, so when I say the name Mark Cuban, what do you think of? What, that super smart, billionaire, good-looking guy on Shark Tank, right? Just a ruthless businessman. Well, you know what? He got scammed, and he actually came out and said, look, if I can get scammed, anybody can get scammed. I'll tell you more about that. And of course, we're going to talk about how you can watch football for free, up to and including, the Super Bowl just a few weeks away. And before we get to that and more of your phone calls, let's say you get a text and for whatever the reason, you don't want the person who sent it to know that you've actually read it. So what can you do? What are some secret ways to make that magic happen? All right, you got a few options. Number one, turn on notifications on your phone. So this way, when a message does come in, you see the entire text on your screen, or, just enough to know what it's about without actually opening it. Or you can go stealth mode. That's number two. So when you get a text, you got to act really quickly. Immediately put your phone in airplane mode, then turn off Wi-Fi. This, of course, cuts off the internet. So you can still look at the message, but there's no way to actually for a read receipt to be sent, which, by the way, you should turn off read receipts if this really bothers you. On your iPhone, it's under messages, just toggle it off. And if you're on Android, again, it's under messages. It may be under advanced too, because there's so many different versions of Android. You can't just say go here because, your mileage may vary depending upon your make and model. Let's see. Let's go back to all the calls. How about David in Las Cruces, New Mexico? Hi, Dave. Big tech is taking over everything, and that includes your email too. They are constantly trying to track us and what we see in our inboxes. The good news is that you can take back control if you know about the right tools. StartMail is the easy-to-use alternative to big tech's email. It was built entirely with your privacy in mind, and it includes features like unlimited disposable email aliases. You can use them for anything, from selling stuff online to accessing coupon codes. Worried about moving from the account you've had forever? Don't be. StartMail's email and contact migration tool makes switching email providers really simple. With just a few clicks, you can transfer all of your important info to your new StartMail account. Protect your email from advertisers, government surveillance, and spam right now. Take back control of your data with StartMail. Just go to startmail.com/Kim for a 7-day free trial and 50% off your first year. StartMail with a T. That's startmail.com/Kim. Let's see. Let's go back to all the calls. How about David in Las Cruces, New Mexico? Hi, Dave.
How are you today?
Wonderful. What's going on?
Well, I like to cook, and I enjoy collecting recipes that I find on the internet. When I find them, I just print them. So as you can probably guess, I've got a big stack of recipes, and I want to try to get them electronic and in a database that I can search and then bring up I'm going to have to scan all of these things. I don't mind doing that. Mm-hmm. But, find what I'm looking for and bring up the image. I was searching for recipe databases, and all I was finding was databases of recipes. I'm like, nah, that's not right. And I realized I should be looking at photo databases. And there's a lot out there. I'm a little confused. I want freeware. I don't want anything real fancy. I mean, I've got Access. I could probably write something in that. But
I haven't heard anybody say I have Microsoft Access in years and years.
Well, the last time I actually wrote a database, I was using Arbase.
Oh, wow. That's another one I haven't heard for eons.
Yeah.
All right. So bring us to today's age, not in the medieval age. What's your favorite thing that you like to cook?
Everything. I like Asian cuisines. I like all kinds of American, Cajun.
Okay, give me something
Italian.
that you've made recently, and you just sat back and you went, "Dang, French Laundry has nothing on me."
I made a killer mapo tofu.
Ooh, wow, really? What's in
very
it?
Spicy. Tofu, obviously, Szechuan peppercorns. I use lots of red peppers, ground pork. Kind of a soy-based sauce. You know, living in New Mexico, everything has to be hot and spicy.
Yeah, that's true.
Right.
Well, that is amazing. You have to send me that recipe. I'd like to try that. Well, I'll tell you, you have a couple of options out there. I mean, of course, like you said, you could use Microsoft Access and do it from scratch. But what I'd like you to look at first, there's actually two. No, probably three. One is Microsoft OneNote. You can create notebooks. And so it's not a traditional database in that sense, although you still have key fields and everything like that. But you can adapt it for a recipe collection. So you can say like appetizers, desserts, tofu, whatever it may be. You can insert your scanned recipe images right into the notes, as well as a picture of your creation afterwards. You can do tags, you can search, you can handwrite, you can draw, and it also syncs across your devices. Okay, so that's OneNote. Google has something called Google Keep, kind of works the same way. And if you really wanted to do it, if you don't want to use Access, you could actually use Excel or Sheets, and then you can create a spreadsheet. But I really think if you looked at, Microsoft OneNote or Google Keep, I think that might be working. Then they have Recipe Manager, which is kind of different than what you were looking for. And so you were looking because you said you found recipe programs, right? Another one that you might want to look at is called Paprika. Paprika, like the spice.
Okay.
It's pretty popular out there. It lets you import recipes, scan your own, attach images, categories, search. Now, this one I like is because it's available about Windows, Mac, iOS, and Android. So no matter where you go, they kind of have you covered. And then the standard in all recipe is a program called MasterCook. It's been around, I want to say, for as long as Arbase. Okay. So, it has pretty much anything that you want, up to and including nutritional analysis of the recipes that you put in there, which might be kind of fun for you to take a look at. But again, it allows you to do the meal planning, custom fields, attach photos, and things like that. So it really depends how deep you want to get into this. If you are just saying, I want to make it easy, I would use MasterCook or Paprika. If it's something that, it's like, I want to create my own solution, then I would look at Microsoft OneNote. And after you get this all done, David, let me know which solution that you pick, because I want to know how far you took all this. And bon appetit. All right, let me tell you, I only have time for the best recipes. Oh, yeah, that one's crazy. Or how about lettuce, turnip, the beet? All right, just one more. You better believe I love baking. Oh, I know. Pains me. It hurts even me. All right, let's talk about how you can watch football for free. But first, I got to tell you about SimpliSafe. SimpliSafe is a longtime sponsor of the Kim Komando Show. I mean, we're talking about the leaders in home security. What I love about SimpliSafe is that they have Active Guard technology. What that means is that using their AI-equipped cameras and their monitoring center, they know when someone suspicious actually steps on your property, so they can step in and report that to the police even before the break-in happens. So here's what you need to do. Go to simplysafekim.com and you're going to get 50% off a new system. And sometimes they're throwing in that first month of monitoring for free too. Once again, you want to go to simplysafekim.com. There's no safe like SimpliSafe. All right, so how much do you have to pay to watch every single NFL football game on cable? Oh, It's just a ton of money. Now, according to MarketWatch, if you have cable, I know, I bet you didn't think about this. It's going to set you back nearly $2,500 to see every single NFL game. For football fans relying just on streaming, you're going to drop $1,700. Now, you can still catch some of the action without spending a dime. What you do is you use a digital antenna. Then you get the local channels like CBS, NBC, Fox, especially on Sundays. There's also the NFL Plus app where you can stream local and primetime games for free. Now, there's also Tubi. A lot of people don't realize about this. That's Tubi. You don't watch a lot of the live games, but they offer replays after they air. So if you don't mind a delay, this could be a solid pick for you. And this year, the Super Bowl is free on Tubi. That's right, Tubi. Looking to bring back that natural glow? You know, the one that you had when you were younger? Take the protein-packed path with Native Path Collagen. Native Path is scientifically proven to help increase bone density, assist in cartilage regrowth, smooth out wrinkles, strengthen nails, and add thickness to your hair. It also helps in the recovery process and can improve your gut health. Starting in our 30s, collagen levels dip, but the right supplement can make all the difference. I chose Native Path Collagen because it's fast absorbing, pure, and effective, with just one clean ingredient. No GMOs, fillers, gluten, dairy, sugar, sweeteners, or junk, and it's so easy to use. It blends into coffee, smoothies, oatmeal, you name it, without lumps or weird flavors. You're going to see a difference with Native Path Collagen. Here's the deal. Get up to 45% off and free shipping on Native Path Collagen today at getnativepath.com/Kim. That's getnativepath.com/Kim. Hey, let me talk to you for just a second about podcasts, because I know that some of you have tapped into the Kim Komando Show podcast and others are like, I don't know if I need time to listen to a podcast, and why would I listen to a podcast? You know, podcasts are fabulous. So if you miss any part of the show that you want to hear again, or maybe even part of an hour that you missed, is that you can get the Kim Komando Show as a podcast right now, wherever you get your podcasts. Now, you just have to search for Komando with a K. Now, it does get confusing because there's Kim Komando Today, which is not the show. Okay, that's my Monday, Wednesday, and Friday podcast, which, by the way, if you're on YouTube, just head over to youtube.com/Kim Komando. And that's where you can actually watch us do the podcast. And pretty soon we're going to be able to actually show you how we do the show too, but I'm kind of getting ahead of myself. So wherever you get your podcasts, just fire it up and then search for Komando with a K. And then you get Kim Komando Today, you get the show. And then don't forget, we have our Daily Tech Update, which is just amazing. It's the top news story of the day in the tech world, as well as just a life hack that you're going to use time and time again. Yeah, you need to know. You definitely need to know this, because it doesn't matter who you think you know or how smart you are about cryptocurrency, you can still lose everything. Take, for instance, billionaire Dallas Mavericks owner, Shark Tank host Mark Cuban. Wow. He was totally caught up in a cryptocurrency token market crash. Iron Titanium token, or simply Titan, crashed in minutes from over $60 each to just a little bit above zero. Wow. The crash was triggered by whales. They're talking about owners of large amounts of crypto. And when the Titan price went from $65 down to $60, the whales started panicking, and then they sold everything. And let me tell you, there is no market regulators to stop the crash. None at all. So when you're dealing in crypto, it is truly the Wild West. Hey, don't forget to enter win those Meta glasses right now at winfromkim.com.
This program is a copyrighted production of Westar Multimedia Entertainment and protected by the copyright laws. Any rebroadcast or use of this program for commercial, business, economic, or financial purposes without the written permission of Westar Multimedia Entertainment is strictly prohibited.
Hey there. Ritual here to give a big shout out to you for making it through the hectic holiday season. The magic of those family moments, that was you. And now there's new milestones to prep for in 2025. This new year, check clean, quality pregnancy nutrient support off your to-do list with Ritual. We've done the research to create science-backed pregnancy support like our prenatal multivitamin, natal choline, and fertility support, all designed to be taken alongside each other. But don't just take our word for it. They're also third-party tested for microbes and heavy metals and Clean Label Project certified. So whether you're trying, thinking about trying, or already there, we don't have to tell you that prioritizing yourself can be the hardest part. That's why we're helping you get started today with 30% off a 3-month supply for a limited time at ritual.com/podcast. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.